Hey guys, welcome back to the Paper Lion. Tonight our project is going to focus on something that just about anybody can get their hands on. You can find these at your little local thrift stores, your secondhand stores, estate sales, your 99-cent stores, pretty much anywhere. And they come in such pretty designs that you can really do so much with them. And tonight I'm going to show you how to make this the focus of one of your projects that will be worthy for any junk journal that you might have. We're going to need paper, thank you cards. We're going to need paper scraps, book page, and then you can use cardstock or like music sheet, or you can even use plain tea-dyed paper. I finally got around to doing a stack of tea-dyed paper. I did the letter size and then also the regular size, and I'll show you guys in the upcoming video how I did that if you want. I live in a small apartment, so I don't have time or the room to be, to spread it out or do it individually. So what I did was put mine, I soaked it all in a pan at one time. Anyway, that's for another video. If you guys want to see how I do that, then let me know down in the comments, and I'll be happy to show you how I did mine with minimum effort. And it was something that you can do really quick, and it can be drying while you're off doing your other projects or doing laundry, taking care of your kids, however. But anyway, back to what we're doing today. This is going to be, I'll show you an example what I've done. This is a really cute little 4-pocket little over like what do you call these? Over the page clips. There's a hidden paper clip in there, so you can put that over your book page like this, or if you want to tuck it to the side like that. But I think it's really pretty if you like put it like that in a journal, and that way you can have your little dangle hanging down. I hope you guys can see that. But anyway, that's what we're going to be making today, featuring one of my sweet little bird's nest charms that I made in a previous video. So if you want to see how I made those, go look into my playlist and you'll be able to find that video. We're going to be using that today, and we're also going to be using some offcuts of lace. It doesn't matter what kind of lace. It doesn't matter what your thank you card looks like. You can make them all look nice and fun. With that being said, let's get into the video. And I think today I really like this one, so I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how I made that one. To start, we're going to start off by covering this back page. And for me today, I am just going to use regular book page. Since I already have a couple of these already made, I thought I'd just go with this. And to start out, the way I'm going to do it is just putting glue directly onto the back of this. You're going to start out by taking your glue. And I finally got another little glue bottle. This one I got from Hobby Lobby, and it's actually a cookie decorating bottle. It has 2 little chambers, and it works just perfectly. And like I said in a previous video, I'm using one of my decorating tips from when I used to bake and decorate cookies, and it works fantastic. So if you guys are looking for a great glue bottle that gives you like nice, easy, like an easy squeeze, then maybe you might consider going for something like this. There we go. And then I'm just going to lay off. I think I want to have it with some of this very interesting looking paper like design on top. And once you get that on there, we're just going to cut it down to size. And I know most of you guys know how to do this, so I'm just going to speed through this part. Now that we have that cut out, we're going to turn our attention to the inside. Now, we're going to, like I said, we're going to make this into a 3-pocket fold. So you have to kind of decide how big you want your bottom pocket to be. And that's how we're going to make our first cut. Most of mine, I've been using this lace as my bottom pocket. You can use lace, book page, whatever you want. But I also have been putting something interesting behind it. So what I'm going to do is kind of measure with a pencil where this is, where this stops, and then I'm going to go up about, actually, let's just go up halfway, and I'll show you why in just a little bit. And that's where we're going to cut to. And so if it's easier for you to fold it back to make the cut, then do that. You can put it on your paper cutter and get it cut that way. For the sake of the video, I'm just going to cut it. I'm going to eyeball it. And I do have my glasses on tonight, so let's see how well I can do this. All right, we're going to cut it to about right there. And now, again, you have to decide how far you want that first pocket to go up. I'm going to do mine about the size of this lace. So I'm going to just cut a piece of my paper that I have here. I'm going to measure it against the card. For anybody who's interested, this card is about, this card is 3 3/4 wide and 5 1/4 tall or high. All right, so we're just going to measure this across. That was 4 3/4. So we're just going to give us a little guideline right there to cut. And then I'm going to measure my lace against that to give me a height. And if it's a little above the lace, that's okay too. So we're going to go ahead and cut that. Let's cut it this way first. And you don't have to cut this. You can give it a ragged edge if you want. It's all in how you want your little pockets to look. Now we have that cut out. We'll go ahead and ink around the edges. Oop. And this is just going to be in the backdrop, so you don't have to do too much to it, but do what you want with it. This is your project. You could even turn that over to the coffee dyed paper or distressed paper if you want to. Just something to give it a little bit of extra behind the lace, so you have a little bit of interest when you take your ephemera out. Okay, so we're just going to glue that. Glue off the edge there. It's lacking a little there, but that's okay. Now what we're going to do, we're then going to close that up, and then we're going to take that and fold it to where just a little bit above where your pocket is going to stop. just so that you can have room to get in and out of your pocket. And where's my bone folder? And once we get the edges lined up, we're going to go ahead and give that a nice sharp crease. My hands always get so full of glue. I need to start wearing something to protect my hands. All right, so you can choose to, actually you do not have to do anything to this because this is about to be covered. And so at this point, let's go ahead and ink everything because we're going to be getting ready to glue some pieces down. So we're going to glue the inside edge. Well, actually this one does not. That's kind of overkill. You don't need that because we're going to be gluing this shut. So we're just going to do the edges. And you can choose to round your corners. On my other projects, I chose to round my corners, but you certainly don't have to. But I probably will on this because I like the way that it looks. So I'll just take my little mini rounder. Actually, I should have done this before. Did I round the? Yes, I did round the edges. I should have done this before I actually inked because now I'm going to be doing double the work. And I am going to ink these edges. I mean, not ink, round those edges as well. You don't have to have them matching, but you can. And if you cannot get your corner rounder to do this because it's kind of thick, you can always just take it and eyeball it. And then once you ink it, you really won't be able to tell much of a difference. And then go back over those corners. All right. Now, what we're going to do with this one is we're also going to put some fabric here. And I have this great roll of fabric that I got on discount at Hobby Lobby. I got all of this. This was what? 50 yards, and I got it on sale for 99 cents total. So like I'm definitely going to be using this in some of my projects. And we're just going to cut that to match that pocket. I usually cut it a little longer, and it's better to cut some off at the end as opposed to having it too short. And I'm just going to muss that up a little bit so that it's not too bright on your project. Okay. Then wipe my little tape off. My little diaper wipes, they're actually like alcohol wipes, and they dry out so fast. You take them out and they're like dried in 2 seconds. So then we're just going to take this and go ahead and glue this. And we're going to only glue 3 sides because this is going to also be a pocket. And so we're just going to sit. And at this point, let's see, this probably won't go all the way over. I don't believe it goes all the way up. So you can ink this a little bit just so that that's not like stark white on there. Okay. And like I say, there's a little bit over, but it's easier to just cut some off at the end as opposed to trying to add more because you literally cannot. All right, so now we've got 1 pocket down, and make sure you're getting it pulled as straight as possible so that you have a straight pocket. Sometimes fabric is a little hard to work with. And then we can go ahead and glue this pocket down as well. And we're just going to glue up this side and this side. And then that's 2 pockets so far. Now what we're going to do next, you can glue this part on lace, that little lace it's really up to you when you glue it. You can glue it now, you can glue it later. I'm going to wait till later. But we're going to go ahead and concentrate on our invisible paperclip. So what we are going to do, I'm going to be using cardstock, and you can choose if you want it to be the whole length of your card, or if you just want to do any random size. And so I'm just going to do, I'm not going to measure this. I'm just going to go random on this, and I can just kind of cut it the same size. But whatever size you cut, you're going to need two exact sides, two of the same. The only thing that you needed to do is be long enough to cover your paper clip. That's all you need it to be. All right. So we're going to glue this side down. I'm going to fold it over here. And on the other one, as you noticed, it had a little hidden, the little paper clip, of course it's hidden, but it also has a hidden away little tie in there. That way you don't have to tie it, and it's just kind of hidden in there. I saw another creator do something like that when she was doing her hidden paper clips. So I thought that was a nice idea, and so I've been using that. You don't have to ink the edge that's going to be on the inside, because we're going to be gluing that down. Let's go ahead and get some ink on here. So this is the edge that I'm going to keep out. And so let's fold it down here to make sure it's going to be long enough to cover our paper clip. You don't have to worry about it on how long it is on the inside, because that part is going to be glued. So we're just going to take this and fold it over. I'm not giving exact measurements because each project is different. You know, you can choose to make it long, you can choose to make it short. But the smaller side for me is going to go inside, and that's the side that's going to get glued. Do not glue the other side. Glue that pretty good. Just try to have it as centered as possible. That's the only real important thing, is that we have it pretty much centered. Now we're going to grab one of our paper clips. You can use a small paper clip, or you can use a large paper clip. I like to use the large ones because I think it gives you a little bit more grip. My paper is coming up a little bit, so I'm just going to add some glue there. And I also like to add my little one, my little on the inside, because I like to have the most secure that I can. So now we just need to make sure that this is going to match. Now, if you want to, you can glue it like that. If you like to have a little lip, you can glue lace there, however you want to do it. But I'm going to line it up today. And so I'm just going to line it up, and I'm going to kind of feel where or kind of make an impression where my paper clip is, because we're going to be taking this paper once we fold it, and we're just going to make a sliver kind of right there, just enough to make a hole right there in the top. And that hole is for our paper clip to pass through. And so let's Let's go ahead and ink that. The edge will be showing a bit. And it's okay if you muss your edges up like that. You can either glue those down like that, glue them down, or you can just leave them with that cool distressed look. All right. And at this point, we are going to raise this paper clip up just a little bit so that it peeks out of the top. And at this point, you want to go ahead and whatever you're going to be using for your topper, you're going to be using lace. You want to go ahead and thread that through. And so I'm going to be using this lace today. So I'm just going to put that through there and pull it out. And this is the time for you to adjust it, to straighten it up, get it however you want it. And then once you've gotten it in there, you're going to just go ahead and push that paper clip as close down as you can get it. And then we're going to go ahead and glue everything in place. Hope you guys can see what I'm doing. So I'm going to glue that down there and secure that in place. And remember, this part is going to be hidden. And we're going to go ahead and glue this part. Remember, do not glue this part because this is the part that's going to be going over your page. But we do want this to be glued down and secure so that you do not see that paper clip. Okay. Now that that is nice and secure, later you can come back and decide to add lace. You can decorate that if you want to. I am going to go ahead and ink it. That's all I'm going to do for it today is ink it. And I'm going to trim off that extra little lace now that it's dried in place. When I do have extra lace like that, I don't really like to touch it until it's kind of dry so it doesn't like shift position. You could choose to round these corners if you want to. I'm going to leave them the way they are because I already rounded the top one. I'm going to go here and trim off this lace. And if this goes over a little bit, you can choose to trim that down if you want to. I don't. I just ink it and it all kind of just blends together. And you're not going to be seeing the back side as much as you see the front side anyway. Especially if you're going to be using it as an over the page tuck. And you could also, though, leave both of these like just regular tea-dye paper, as I mentioned earlier. Then that would give them a journaling spot on the back of that if they wanted to hide like a secret note or something. But for this tutorial, I didn't do that. All right, so now we've got this area. Before we glue this, we are going to take a piece of lace. And this is why we cut up a little bit extra over here, because we're going to take this lace and slide it in there so that when we do close this off, we can have this to tie extra ephemera in if we want. But remember, as far up as you cut it is basically how big your pocket is then going to be here at the top. So once we get this in the place where we want it, and I would say that this ribbon is probably 3 of these wide. 3 times this is wide, just so that we have enough room. If you have to like cut it down a little bit, that's fine. You can take these offcuts and use them for another project. So we're just going to open this up, and once we get it to where we want it, we're just going to glue it down. And we're going to make sure that we glue it down really nice, because we don't want it like snagging on our paper when we do put tags in here. Okay. And while that's drying, I'm going to go ahead and add my lace here to the bottom, just to give that a chance to dry before we close that up. And as I said, I like to cut my lace just a little bit longer, just in case. So we're going to go ahead and we're only going to do 3 sides. Oops. I'm going to lay that there. Make sure it's secure. Stretch it just a little bit so that you'll have a nice tight pocket. Okay, so that should be dry enough. So now we're going to take this and close it. Now, if you want, you can go ahead and glue it all the way down here, or you can glue it up to here. However you want is up to you. But because on this one, I can see a little bit of my white there, I'm going to go ahead and ink that so that when you take your ephemera out, you don't see all of that. So I'm just going to distress that really quick. And that's just my preference. You don't have to. All right, now we can glue this. Go ahead and take that. And we're going to glue 3 sides on this one. I'm going to glue mine all the way down here, all the way to the edge. And you certainly do not have to do this. It depends on how tall you want your pocket to be. Okay. And we have that done. We can go ahead and close that up. Let's see, I'm going to have to get a little spray bottle to keep my table clean, because I'm always using a lot of ink directly on it. All right, so now we have, I'll show you with this. We currently have 1, 2, 3 pockets, 4 with this one, if you want to use that one. So now we have 4 pockets, and let me go ahead and clip off that excess lace. All right, now let's do a little bit of decorating. I don't like to do too much decorating, because I do like to leave it to where the person can choose to decorate it however they want. Actually, there's one more thing that I need to do. And that's, where is it at? Where's my lace? There it is. I need to add a little bit of lace down here to the bottom. I got this lace on sale at Hobby Lobby as well. I got it for like 99 cents, I think. But I just thought this was really sweet, really nice, vintage looking lace. I just love it. And snip that down. And then we're going to glue it here to the bottom. Again, this is optional. You go as far with your project as you want. And if you want, you can put more lace on it, less lace, however you want to do it. Okay, gonna glue that. And I'll come back and cut that extra off when I feel like it's dry. Okay, so now everything in here is secured. We got our pockets together. Now we can go back and do a little decorating. And all I'm going to do to decorate this one today is just going to add one of my little bird's nest charms that I made, as I said in a previous video. And I'm really going to add that just for the sake of covering up the thank you on there. So we're going to put him or her right over here to the side. But I'm going to go ahead and tie this up just so it's out of the way. You can stick some little, those tags are too big. Let's see if I have some small little tags. Yes. Over here. You can stick some little tags off here in the bottom if you want to. And this is just to show you how you can have your extra ephemera in there and tie it there. But right now, because I still have to do this part, I'm not going to touch that. So let me go ahead and just glue this little guy where I want it. And I think because he has a dangle, he's going to be off to the side. So we're going to do it about halfway. And he was already backed with some music paper as well. I really love the messy look. And you don't have to do all green, but green is my favorite color. So I like working with green. All right, and now that he's glued in place, you can stick your little ephemera in there. You can stick it in the pockets if you want. That's completely up to you. Of course, I wouldn't put big tags right here at the top ones, but they will certainly go down here at the bottom. And we'll put those off to the side and go ahead and tie that and finish our project off. Excuse me. Trim that little bit off. And then we are done. Isn't that sweet? That would be really cute in a shabby chic journal. It would be cute in a nature journal. It would be cute in lots of different things. And here's the other two that I've made. I did most of them alike. And as I said, I don't really like to decorate much. I like to leave that for you guys to do whenever you purchase one of my journals. And this one's got a sweet little tag. This one I did not do the bird's charm. This was actually the first one I did before I did the bird's nest charms. But I got this little sticker from Temu, and this is just like a cutout, a paper punch that I punched out of cardstock and added like a little mushroom piece of washi on the back. But I think these are so stinking cute. Very, very cute for the spring and summer. Well, it is summer now. But anyway, I hope you guys are inspired to go and make something from an item that everybody pretty much can get their hands on. And you can usually get these for 10 for $1 at the store. And I like to always craft with things that I can get that are not super expensive, because I like to keep my journals on the more affordable side. Anyway, thank you guys as always for spending your time with me. I know everybody's time is precious, and I appreciate yours, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video. Bye.